What's up everyone, John Render from Techno Buffalo here. I've been wearing the Moto 360 as my only watch for the better part of 2 weeks, and I got a lot of stuff to say about it. If you're interested in picking up the latest in Android wear, have a watch. So as I do with all my reviews, let me give my disclaimer. I use this as my only watch with a 1+1 for 2 weeks. And as you'll see in the review, the time we spent with the watch was actually really important. If we want to see a ton more, be sure to check out our written review down below that our own Todd Hazelton wrote. He's got a few different takes on some of the things here. So we just get the facts out of the way. It's $249. It's got a 1.56 inch 320 by 229 display. It's got an OMAP 2 chip, 512 megabytes of RAM, and a battery that's ambiguously between 300 and 320 milliamp hours. Great, that's done. So watch those specs don't really mean that much. So we reviewed the other Android Wear devices currently out, Samsung's Gear Live and the LG G Watch, and came away super unimpressed. In fact, they got some of our lowest reviews in a really long time. If you want to check those out though, links will be down below as well. It was mostly just because Android Wear just isn't there yet. So enter this guy, the Moto 360, a really nice looking iteration of Android Wear, but is the beauty just skin deep? The watch is undoubtedly gorgeous. It looks like an ordinary watch, which for me is huge. I can count on one normal fingered hand the number of times people ask me what was on my wrist versus the dozens of times people ask when I was wearing the typical square designed alternatives. A watch, by all accounts, is a piece of jewelry, so much more than a phone, it's really gotta look good. And here, Motorola really succeeds. The round screen is badass. There's just no other way to say it. I know it's not a full 360 degrees because the sensor's at the bottom, but that really didn't bother me at all. On a side note though, I forgot to take it off before I gave my 1-year-old a bath, and it got absolutely drenched. Fortunately, it's IP67, but the Horween leather band though definitely had some water spots on it for a day or so. They're gone now. So I really love how the single button looks like a crown on a normal watch. It's inconspicuous and just looks slick. With really every other Android Wear watch out there, you can't customize, at least not yet, the watch faces, but Moto's got a companion app called Connect that lets you tweak the design. It's a small touch, but I really appreciate it. It also lets you set a personal health tracker that uses your heart rate monitor and other sensors, a feature that I really use. But I really like to be able to change the color, the second hand, and other small tweaks in there. So hats off to you, Motorola. So I know a lot's been made about battery life. Is it really a 320 milliamp hour? Is it really 300 milliamp hours? Is it teardown revealed? Honestly, I don't know. As a consumer, I really don't care. This is where it mattered though, how long I used the device. My first week with it, battery life was really bad. With the ambient display off, notifications coming in, and Google search using a handful of times, I'd get home and have about 10% or less of battery life. The second week though, under the exact same use cases, it got way better. I now have close to 25% left, and that's taking it off the charger at 7 a.m. and putting it back on around 11 p.m. The first week with the ambient sensor on, it barely got me through a full day, but the second week with the ambient sensor on, I can definitely get through a full day now. If you've seen other reviewers complain about battery life, be sure to ask them how long they tested it, because that time really mattered. I don't know if the battery needed to be conditioned, or a device sort of had to learn how to optimize itself, but it definitely got better. So speaking of battery, that's something I don't really talk about. Charging this thing is absolutely awesome. The charging screen looks ridiculously cool, as it's Qi enabled, so you can just drop it on the stand that Moto gave you or use any Qi charger. Using the one that's included though, not only looks good, it charges the device crazy fast, like 3 or 4% per minute. It's awesome and probably only due to the smaller battery. Dropping this thing on the charger for 10 minutes will get you another few hours of use easily. A big knock on other Android Wear devices has been how it looks in direct sunlight. I will say it's not great in direct sunlight, but you can still read it in direct sunlight, which I guess is all you really need. Software side though, Android Wear is still Android Wear. If you've tried it on another device, it's exactly the same here, just on a round screen. It works. I like having Google search, that's really handy. Everything else though is kind of questionable utility. Google said there'd be a ton of updates coming. We spent a lot of time talking about Android Wear. Software is not overly awesome, but it does come in a pretty nice looking package. So what's the final verdict here on the Moto 360? It gets a 7, which is a way better score than other Android Wear devices. If you take one thing away from this video, take this. It is the best looking wearable out now, but that could change once the G Watch R hits. I've loved using this. I'm going to continue to use this watch. I like how it looks. Even if I don't use any of the Android Wear features, I love the watch faces. It looks like a modern watch. The Horween leather bands look great. It's available in silver or black, and I think Moto really knocked this one out of the park. If If Android Wear improves, software gets better, gets a bit more utility, this could easily jump from a 7 to an 8 or a 9. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Moto 360. Is it the watch you've been waiting for? Are you waiting for something else? Leave the comments down below. Until next time, I'm John Ranger from Techno Buffalo. See you guys next video. Bye-bye. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We love technology here. If you do too and you want to see what's next, of course, just hit the big subscribe button down below to get the latest videos from Techno Buffalo. And we just launched our new Twitch channel, so if you want to see us game, albeit sometimes a little bit horribly, check us out at twitch.tv/technobuffalo.